Camera is rolling. We have Dr. Mike in the studio. We have KB, in-studio producers. We have in-studio engineer, technical operators. Yes, we have our trainee MB, Mika'el Brown, is also here. Yes, and Haile Mika'el is my namesake, because as you know, in the Ethiopian Orthodox Torah Church, my baptismal name is also Haile Mika'el, meaning the power or might of the archangel. So right now, two angels stand up in real life in the studio right now, you know what I mean? And he hails from Westmoreland, to be specific, where that beach is. You're talking about beach. There's so much beautiful beach down in Westmoreland. But when I come out of White House, open the phone line for me, Open the phone lines, because Jamaica, we want to know Jamaica. We say, we are Jamaica, we want to know our community. Step out this holiday and explore the 14 parishes, or one of the 14 parishes. I also want to bless up Mama Fire in Portland, as we say she's ill, and we are praying that she have a speedy recovery. So, Haile Mika'el is in the studio today, and he is enrolled. If I use certain words, they might not be politically correct, because as you know, those music we play and stuff, but as you know them say, you have to be a part, because we are the government. I want you to explain that later too, when a man say we are the government. But the Constitution of Republic Jamaica, Haile Mika'el vision for the proposal is create a new and glorious history for ourselves and our future generation that shall increase our self-esteem, dignity, and integrity, which is very, very important. This discussion today is going to be involved Dr. Mike, because as you know, he is a long-standing member of, we're not going to make mention of which party, and also he's an educator as well. So Haile Mika'el, thanks, welcome to this Bess FM studio.
Thanks
and yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Ibby Lion, Haile Mika'el, my namesake. Yeah, I'm a long-standing member of the Ethiopian Orthodox Torah Church. That's the bottom line. Yeah, and this document is based upon the 1955 revised constitution of Ethiopia that was written by Emperor Haile Selassie I. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are discrediting this document because of the emperor, but you must remember when he came here in 1966, he was given the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws from the University of the West Indies. He was given the keys to the city of Kingston. He gave us a school, and 4 years after that, he gave us the church, which still functions, which is one of the most ancient churches in the whole world, mm-hmm. and continues according to the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ. So we are on safe grounds in terms of using the emperor's document to mm-hmm. base this. But we also have integral parts of it that are definitely Jamaican.
Okay.
All right. We got information from Jamaican lawyers, also from Anthony Gifford is one, and Gordon Robinson. He has done extensive work with me on this in the behind the scenes, mm-hmm. and also ordinary Jamaican citizens. We have had discussion with Maroons. We have got their information. We have used the 1738 articles of pacification involved mm-hmm. in this document, and also the Pan-African Declaration of Repatriation is part of this as well, the Abuja Declaration. Okay. So we have been doing a lot of work in terms of getting something that can satisfy us as a people here in Jamaica. We've even changed the coat of arms of the country.
All right, yes. So I noticed you're using the word we. It's me there, so. And people out there watching and listening, and they might think it's me and you doing all of this.
Yeah.
But you have a team. You have a team of persons, right?
I've been asked that question so many times, and the answer that our team is led by our Eternal Father. I told you as much to the Constitutional Reform Committee when they invited me to Jamaica House on July 14, 2023. It was, yes, to discuss with them. I tell them this is not about me. This is about our Eternal Father giving me this job and facilitating me doing it. So, Bess FM, we give thanks for you being part of this also to help to publicize it. And the young lady who picked me up at taxi driver who picked me up at UC the other night after I went and did a presentation and took me to halfway tree. I told her that you're part of the advocacy too, because you're helping the program to go along. You know?
All right, so basically every citizen of Jamaica is a part.
Yes.
All right, well, it's inclusive.
What you mean? The committee that Mika'el spoke about?
Yeah, his endeavors, what he's proposing.
On behalf of them.
On behalf, but I mean, him say, it's, you know what I mean, from you're a Jamaican, you're entitled to be a part.
If you want to be.
If you want to be.
And so the inspiration is really coming from the Father. He's inspired by the Almighty Father.
Yes.
Because I noticed that Ibby's question about the we, you mentioned legal luminaries like Gordon Robinson and a few
Anthony
other.
Gifford, yeah.
Yes, and Sir Anthony. And these councils are a part of the committee that put this document together.
I don't want to put them in that light. I'm going to say this document came up out of a 1991 presentation that I made to the then Constitutional Reform Committee, headed by retired Justice James Carr, where I gave him a letter told him that we need to abolish this 1962 document, write a new one based on the Holy Bible, the Ethiopian Constitution, and the United Nations Constitution. He told me to get him a copy of the Ethiopian Constitution. I went around Jamaica to various places among the Rastafarian community. At that time, I was a Rastafarian and well known and respected, even to now. And they gave me a copy of the 1955 Constitution. I gave it
the
to
Rastafarians gave you a copy.
Rastafarian group gave
so he
it to
didn't
me.
bother to ask the Ethiopians. He didn't bother to ask the Ethiopians. He didn't bother to go to the Ethiopian envoy and ask them to provide it.
I went straight to the Rastafarian community and I got a copy of the 1955 revised Constitution.
That was written by Emperor Haile Selassie first.
Emperor, both in English and Amharic. Okay? And then
so you're advocating on behalf of us. You don't really have a stationary committee as per se.
Right. That is it.
Okay.
So basically,
I'll get it. Right. Clarity. Yes.
So,
yes.
All right, let us quantify something. I am the chairman, if you want to say. I'm getting instructions from the CEO, which is our eternal Father, and everybody I interact with are part of the committee.
You have a direct line to the CEO.
Yeah.
You're getting instructions from him.
Yes. All right.
I just want clarity on this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it don't sound like we're being euphoric.
Yes.
Huh? And not being realistic.
Mm-hmm. That's
right. I know you're a realistic man, and I know the groundwork that you have been doing.
All right.
But what I want our audience to have a good interpretation of that is not just Mika'el, is we, them, and everybody in one.
Right.
You're advocating and you're getting help from these other sources. All right, understood.
Yes, that's why it's called We the People.
Right, that's why we say We the People. That's 1991, okay? Justice James Carr resigned about 2 weeks after I gave him the document, and about 2 months after that, they disbanded the committee, and then 2005, another committee was started, and then now this other committee, which the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, was established 6 months after I sent the first draft of this now document to Parliament.
So that committee is sitting now, that's overseeing the transition to republicanism for Jamaica.
Right.
All right.
So do you think that your proposal had anything to do with that decision or that swift change in development? You said 6 months after you gave a proposal of Republic Jamaica.
Yes.
They formed the committee.
Right. They formed the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. And what prompted me to write this document now in July 2021 is that Honorable Mike Henry and Babsy Grange, they started talking again about reparation. So I sent them a letter telling them, but I already told you we cannot talk about reparation without getting rid of the British monarchy. So I sat down and I wrote this document, sent the first draft to them July 26, 2021, and 6 months after that, the Prime Minister formed the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs. And 14 months after, they formed the Constitutional Reform Committee. And
they have not asked to sit on it. They have not asked you to sit on that committee with them.
No, but I was interviewed because they had 6 town hall meetings. Okay? One of them was exclusively for the church community, but I attended that also. So I attended 5 of the 6 town hall meetings, and I keep telling people this is what we need, okay? And they have offered me to meet with me at Jamaica House on July 14, 2023, which I did, and I presented it in depth and telling them some of what I've already told you, all right? So now they have this document, they know what is in it and everything, and still they put forward a report, which you can get it on their website and other places, which totally ignores the provision. Which is to have the sovereignty of the country vested in the citizens of the country, to have our head of state elected nationally on fixed election dates, also our deputy head, which we call the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. Why we call it Prime Minister as head of state is because we have a council of ministers, which he is in the head of. One of the ministries is the Ministry of the Office of the Prime Minister. Also, we have impeachment clause where the citizens can impeach, and even though the Prime Minister is the one responsible for nominating or appointing then the ministers of the other 9 ministries, the representatives of the people, that's the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, they can remove those by also impeaching them, or not really impeaching, but petitioning the Supreme Court. We have changed the whole structure of the court system in the country according to this document. We start with what they call a notary's court. Which
no, hold on. Can we slow a little? Wait.
Okay. Dr. Mike, I know you have your pressing question to ask, but
because
you mentioned some things just now out of the 86 articles.
Proposed.
86 proposed article.
Yes.
That's what you compiled.
That's what you proposed.
That's what you are. That's what you are proposing. There was one question, and it's proposing to the government of the present Prime Minister.
If it's going through them?
If it's presenting to them for them.
They have had various copies of this, and I have met with individual
So who you're
MPs.
trying to reach out to, right, to get it passed or to get it acknowledged?
Yes. Well, the reaching out is to everybody, including the Prime Minister and the Governor General, as Jamaican citizens, to move our country forward. Okay? Now...
Well, what's the campaign? Because I caught Dr. Mike. Dr. Mike, go ahead and we'll come back to Mika'el.
Mika'el has articulated a lot of points in legislature, law, which in itself is a whole heap.
Yeah.
My question to him is, you speak highly of removing the British monarchy.
Yes.
And Jamaica's thrust in the next year from now is to become a republic where we will no longer take an oath, where we no longer take an oath to the Queen, it's now the King. So we're still in them council.
Right.
So one of the things that your document will be asking for is that we remove the Privy Council, which is the final court of appeal for Jamaica, because Jamaica does not contribute to the Caribbean Court of Justice. It is the Privy Council that overturned the Vibes Cartel case and a number of others.
Yes.
And the Privy Council is like an elitist. If you don't have money like what Vibes Cartel have, you can't appeal to the Privy Council.
What right they have in our affairs?
Because they are still the final court of appeal for Jamaica.
And because we're still under the British rule, isn't that what?
Yeah, it will still take God bless the King in the court. We still do that, right? So you are saying, Mika'el, that a part of your thrust is to overturn all this. Not what remove. Remove it. We don't have a prime minister. We will become a republic. You have a president.
That's what you're
like we say, like I told the CRC, we could call him the Dan Dada if we want, to make it a real Jamaican term. It doesn't matter the name that you call the head of state, it's the work that they do and their authority. We could call him a chief. Okay?
So the Governor General has to go. So the Governor General has to go.
The Governor General is part of the British monarchy.
Of course, he represents the Queen.
He's out. All right? Under this document, he's out. Now, the idea that you just put forward, this document, I declare it to be a bloodless revolution, in that it only needs to be signed by 63 elected representatives of this country. Those are the people who need to sign it, and so far all of them have been hiding from it, because what it does is that it takes power from those who now have it under this British 1962 Constitution and gives it to the people. It vests the sovereignty of the country in the citizens of the country. It says that the courts of the country must be administered in the name of the citizens of the country. So we wouldn't be hearing when we go to court under this document, we'll be hearing God save the people of Jamaica or the citizens of Jamaica, that sort of thing. All right? Now, the Privy Council, as you mentioned, that's where we go now. But it was the Privy Councillors who in the 17th century advised the King of England then to go to Africa to get people to work on his plantation for free. They didn't have any conscience about that, and they have not changed.
Suggested that?
Yeah, the Privy Council who suggested that. Okay, and they have not changed their ways. So we can't. If we are here thinking that we are going to get any justice from those people, we are totally out of line. The CCJ, on the other hand, was established by Caribbean countries, Jamaica being one of them, who put money into it to make it work. And we see where it has worked in the Shanique Myrie case, where the CCJ judges moved from Trinidad, came to Jamaica, got information, and then went back and made their ruling favorable to Miss Myrie, because that was justice. We have a Jamaican on the court now, on the CCJ. I was told that by Diane Jackson Miller in an interview that she had with me. Okay? So these are things that make us independent, truly independent. All right? Again, this document has the Ministry of Land, Wood, Water, Housing and Infrastructure, which is mandated to develop and maintain a policy that will eliminate squatting by giving land access to people.
All right, so Mika'el, yeah. So in Jamaica now, we have a Prime Minister-elect, or we have the opposition who have a big say, and we already say something that you are saying, because you want betterment for the people, and that's what the Prime Minister wants, or claim to want, and that's what the opposition claim to want. So basically, you would like also to form what? You would run for the presidency of this country?
Final question. I would have hoped that question don't come up so quickly, but then again, like I said, it's our eternal Father. I'm telling you this, I'm prepared to lead this country.
As a president,
that's no guess saying, yeah, I'm prepared. Remember, this document has been passed through me. Just sitting down here waiting for this interview, I read it off. It takes me about 2 hours. There's another document I have which is called Achieving the Proposed Constitution of the Republic of Jamaica, which lines out things that can be done to solve crime. This document shows that the Ministry of Trade and Industry is to put forward the industry of renewable energy. That the information I got from my good friend Dr. John Lennon, who has done extensive work on renewables and bauxite, and he has been putting it to government, and they have been ignoring him. Okay, so with the renewable energy ministry industry, we'll be able to solarize our all government-owned buildings, schools, everything, and then we'll be able now to transfer some of that energy into buses for transportation of school children. So it's a whole new industry.
I think KB wants to say something.
So like you have a comprehensive plan, because one of the part of democracy is that the people have a voice in the say, right? In a country say.
Yeah.
So you putting for these proposals, like you do research on it and plan, and you say you're prepared to lead the country. I know in the past, or even maybe recently, you have run for independent candidate in Westmoreland.
Eastern.
You have been doing it for how long? How long have you been doing it?
From 2012 was the first I got involved in local government, and I've been in 3 local governments from 2012 and 2 general elections from 2016, and I'm campaigning again. One of the problems that we see is that mindset of the people. As I said, this document needs a mentally emancipated way of thinking. The people think that, independent can't win. If it's not PNP, it's JLP, and we don't want any of them, so they don't vote. 62% don't vote, and they expect to get better.
Before we go to Dr. Mike, I am honored in Best 100 FM studio, truly, to be standing beside you who has a possibility to run this country. Because all of these prime ministers in the past, they were just, the Ghanaian system, man is just a man.
Yeah.
What's the difference between you and the man that's sitting right now in Bay Royal? I mean, Bay Royal seems empty from
Jamaica House.
Or Jamaica House or wheresoever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know that in Jamaica, Dr. Michael, coming to you before I go to Mika'el, that there's partisan politics where the voting system and the whole leading up to election is so unprecedented, all type of vulgarity and all type of schism. I hear that recently man get money for vote, all type of thing. I'm talking about I read in the paper, not from my own. How would you, I'm going to answer this after Dr. Mike speak, how would you stand up to all this mayhem and pandemonium and this corruption in the country to stand as the helm of this country? Think upon that point. Dr. Mike?
Jamaica, as you said, was one of the earliest signatories for the Caribbean Court of Justice.
Yes, it is.
But Jamaica withdrew under the Bruce Golding administration.
Okay.
If my memory serves me well, Mr. Golding explained why he thought it was not a feasible thing for Jamaica to do. And it wasn't a nice thing that was said in terms of people's morality. Questions were raised about the integrity of our own judges that would sit in our own Caribbean court. And, of course, that evoked a firestorm of negative reaction. He was saying, oh dear, is it that we can't run our own thing and we now have no character, we can't make our own decisions?
Yes.
And he didn't move from his position really until he was convinced about the construction of who are the people going to sit on this court. He said, why can't Jamaica have its own final court of appeal? Why do we have to be a part of a Caribbean court of appeal? Why can't Jamaica have its own?
Well, I've looked into that as well. And our Supreme Court, as we say, this court structure is a notary's court, then parish court, then appeal court, then Supreme Court. Supreme Court. I am thinking that our Supreme Court should be able to manifest fully our laws. However, let us look. We also have foreigners being in the country at times. And then we have a regional body, which is the Caribbean community. All right? So if we have a court that affects all of those independently, then we'll be good to go. Now, let us look at the point that you raised about Mr. Golding saying, Honorable Mr. Golding. I know you haven't quoted him, saying that can we trust the judges and that? Can we trust these people who have a mindset to capture Africans and send them to Jamaica as slaves? That's the Privy Council we're talking about. Well, whatever. Yeah. He could do nothing else because there's no higher court than the Privy Council right now for Jamaica. The CCJ does not
for Jamaica.
For Jamaica right now.
So if we can have, let me use the Caribbean Examination Council, CXC. Yeah. CXC is a Caribbean examination that's administered by Caribbean islands. I mean, right. I myself am an examiner. Right? And we do in fact, it's highly regarded internationally, the standard of work that is done. But it leads me now into another area of CARICOM. One of the arguments put forward about Jamaica being reserved about working with our Caribbean brothers and sisters is that they're not buying our goods. We are the one who's buying theirs. Case in point, go into a supermarket and take out the products off the shelf and see which country has the most products in Jamaica out of their country. Trinidad.
Right. So
but the argument is that they're not buying much of our things. We are the ones who are doing the buying. So that kind of distrust is beginning to kind of...
let me answer that.
Yes.
What are we doing about manufacturing? Jamaica buying ackee to feed tourists. That's
Jamaica buys ackee.
Yes.
We buy water too. We buy water too.
We're buying water now. I hear you.
We buy sugar too.
All right. We're buying sugar. We divest our sugar industry. I mean, so much universities in Jamaica. So many people graduating with degrees in all sorts of things. And we cannot run a sugar industry. So what are we complaining about? We're selling out the country. So we have to take what we get. This document gives the moral compass back to the people of Jamaica. Right? It vests the sovereignty of the country and the citizens of Jamaica. And that gives us right.
That's all well and fine, but listen, if we do not create the correct atmosphere to encourage investors and manufacturers to operate, they're not going to do it.
The investors that we are looking forward to create this country are the citizens of this country. A very resilient and bright people who don't take no talk, nowhere, no time. Okay? And they are not dishonest. Yes, they will scam you, but they are not dishonest. But you put them in a situation, you corner them what they expect us to do.
All right.
We're going to survive.
Sure. There's so many, because your topic is so rich, Mika'el. Are we to embrace that if and when Jamaica goes republic, that there's going to be a magical change, that people's behavior will just change, and we will become more cooperative, more people will vote, there'll be less Butuism. Is that what we are saying? That this change will bring about that?
State a country that is republic that is doing well, because I know the whole world right now is upside down. Which country will you use to emulate that has gone republic and is doing well right now in the world?
Right. It works back, as we are talking about, the whole mindset of the people in the country. That's what we need to get at. All right? That's where we need to get at. And as we say, this is a mentally emancipated way of thinking, this document. The Ministry of Education is mandated to teach this document in schools. Right now, children are not learning civics. They don't know how a government...
You replace the social studies.
Yeah, they call it history again.
Yeah.
All right? Repeat the question that you just
the question I'm asking, which country in the world right now that's gone republic that is progressing?
Well, I have not studied that thing, but we have people like America up there that they're progressive to whatever degree they say they're progressive.
No, let's use the Caribbean. Let's use the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Our neighbors next door.
Yeah,
Trinidad.
Yeah, what I am
Guyana.
Saying, yeah,
Barbados.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is this. This is a unique document for a unique set of people. What we need to do is to gravitate towards it and develop this document. All right? Now, we mentioned Vybz Kartel. I read an article where he was saying he thought he would die at GP based upon the inhumane conditions down there. Now, this document says that no one should be subjected to inhumane treatment. That means when this document comes into play, every prisoner in Jamaica is liable to sue the government for having them locked up in inhumane situations. So we have to move out people from out of prison and build a new prison or release them and condemn those prisons. Because General Penitentiary, Fort Augusta, almost every police lockup in Jamaica, I've been into some of them. All right?
You're a JP?
Who, me? No, as convict.
You can be a JP.
Okay. I have been arrested. I have been.
You can be a JP. Mika'el, you can be a JP.
Yeah, but you were saying something about almost all of them is what? What's the point you're going to make? Almost
the conditions,
almost every
lockup in Jamaica is inhumane,
overcrowded and dirty, and
colonial times. They have not been updated. They have not been repaired. They have not been reconstructed. So that's why, because remember, so these prisons were for slaves, So, some of them have those colonial past history. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, right. That's it.
But Mika'el, you're not advocating that we're going to release hardened criminals because the prison is in a dirty way.
No,
we're not advocating that, right?
That. What I'm advocating within that, okay, is this. This document allows for people to petition the Prime Minister for relief. Not to change their sentence, but to reduce the sentence. Now, let us say we have a situation where the Prime Minister can take of himself and realize that, okay, we have 500 people incarcerated for possession of ganja or planting ganja or whatever, cultivation. And they only have 2 years left out of their 5-year sentence. Why keep that man wasting time when he's a good farmer? What is his charge? producing vegetable matter resembling ganja, vegetable matter resembling something that is good for us. Furthermore, the Ministry of Health and the Environment is mandated to investigate all plants in the island to see which one of them have good medicinal properties.
So
you're going to keep a man locked up for ganja, release him.
Ganja farmer, you're being advocated in Bess 100 FM studio. The lawyer is here, the doctor is here, Dr. Mike, and your musical genius is here to set you free. Let's just play the song and come back for 2 minutes. Almost coming on to the hour of my time to exit the studio. Yeah, man.
Whether you're white man or you're black man, now it's time for you to live as one, nobody the first now your contention. Gee, what am I calling? Politicians send me no politician, yes. Politicians send me no politician. What the fiction? Politicians send me no politician, yes.
Yes. That's Admiral Bailey. Long time we hear from him, politician. Give thanks. So, we're exiting 2024 in the West, in Ethiopia, where New Year is gone from September 11th, but we are living here now. So financially and all of the alley, we're exiting 2024. I think next week Friday is going to be our last Friday in this year, which, we are planning to do, probably give away some goodies as well. And, just exit the year upon a good note. But as you know, we're intertwined with spiritual, physical, and also political endeavors. So we're happy to have you in the studio today. And there are some relevant points. I said, Dr. Mike, going through the document. You said you gave it to some of the politicians already. So hopefully in 2025, we can have more discussions, part 2, and also they can make some more conscientious decision on what you have proposed. Dr. Mike, we're going to have the final argument from you and just ask Mika'el to say the last words. And, hopefully somebody can listen that is a part of the immediate cabinet and can maybe ratify or get some of this thing passed. Yeah, because they are relevant. Very, very relevant.
Doing a quick perusal of your document here, I noticed that you have a very almost exhaustive list of all the MPs in all the constituted electoral constituencies across Jamaica.
Yes.
That's really a lot of research you have done there, Mika'el, and asking for their signatures. I hope you get this support. However, one of the things I saw you suggest is about Jamaican language, patois, so to speak.
Yes.
And I will tell you that the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission has moved away from that this year festival for 2025. There's no more Jamaican dialect, it's called Jamaican. So we are making some incremental steps.
This document says indigenous Jamaican language. Right, good. So that's the JCDC doing that.
Yeah, they're moving because I prepare students for participation in the competitions, and I noticed that in the syllabus that they're moving towards that area, and I certainly wish you all the best because this campaign that you have, because it is a campaign.
Yes, it is.
Really needs to be. I'm glad that Ibby and Bess gave it the opportunity to speak and to amplify it.
Right.
Because we have to get. What it is doing is it is challenging those to put them action which part them out there.
Well,
that is what I see this document doing. It's challenging them. We have a lot of talk. Jamaican and short talkers, We will kill you with that,
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say about the Jamaican language you see we put there.
Yeah.
It effectively abolishes the indecent language law. Because you know that these words that they call indecent, bad word business and charge people at courthouse, it is part of our Jamaican language. So when that comes into the Constitution, the indecent language law is abolished.
Automatically.
Straight up. Right.
Sure.
All right, so Mika'el, your final 60 second, 1 minute. Your final
We the
words.
People Proposed Constitution of Republic Jamaica is available on our Facebook group page, We the People Republic JA. You can view our YouTube channel, We the People Republic JA. You can email us, We the People Republic JA @gmail.com. You can get it by requesting through WhatsApp 1-876-225-1163. When you get it, you may share, discuss, advocate for making it better, and then ask the MP why don't sign it. Or why she don't sign it. Simple.
All right, give thanks. On behalf of Best 100 FM,
Respect.
we want to say we wish you all the best. And as my producer said, KB.
It's we. We are all in this
Oh, you
together.
start with we and end with we.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Mike already clarified what is we. So there's no, we don't have to do a disclaimer for that. So wish you all the best. And of course, I say we're honored to have you here. And everything starts from a increment stage. So we know that this can grow into big things. So all my listeners, thank you. Friday, be safe on the road. Make sure you are looking out for the pedestrians, taxi drivers. Traffic is very, very thicker than porridge. So just be careful and just be patient. You will reach where you're going and just enjoy yourself. Please. One love, one good, swim good, ride good, jump good, eat